always ask me what Chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
What's good, bro?
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's alright, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I haven't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.
We're live from Champs Downtown on South Allen Street in downtown State College. It is the Blue and White Players Show. I am your fake host, Chris Buchanani. We are here every Monday night at 6 p.m. live on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State, bringing you the story of the Penn State football season in the words of the Nittany Lions players themselves. And we are going to enjoy the hell out of this one as much as I enjoyed watching that game on Saturday. Woo-hoo. I've got my old school Keith Goon Conlon.
What's going on, baby? How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Absolutely.
How can I not be? Got my new school Aeneas Hawkins. How you
Feeling
doing?
good. Feeling young. Feeling young.
How about it? And joining us for our first segment, we usually do a little something, the three of us, but we're accommodating Ji'Ayir's schedule tonight. The reigning Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Congratulations on that. Awesome. Senior safety Ji'Ayir Brown. Thanks for being with us, Ji'Ayir.
Absolutely. It's great to be here.
So normally, and we are going to get to this, we like to start off by asking you a little bit about your journey to Penn State and what got you here. But after a performance like that, we got to start with the game. And, let's just talk about the plays that got you recognized by the Big Ten this week to get us going. Force the fumble, make the interception, just an all-around great defensive performance from you and all of your teammates. Talk to us about the experience and what you saw out there versus Auburn.
First we want to give, a shout out to my teammates. They're doing their job. And football is such a team game. People don't realize it's such a team game, It takes a lot of different parts, to get one good result, So if the pass rush wasn't as good as it was on an interception drive, maybe I wouldn't have got the interception, maybe you wouldn't have threw it. So you always want to give credit to the guys up front, for harassing the quarterback and making them make decisions fast.
You're a smart man.
Yep.
Take care of the fatties up front now. Come on, man. We all know that.
Absolutely.
You know, no, but the defensive line pressure was outstanding. Just crazy what they were doing, because that was a worry of mine going into the game last week, because they weren't getting pressure with 4. They had to devise some schemes to get the pressure on the quarterback the first 2 games, but sure as hell got it this weekend. It was great, man.
Yep.
Good job. Congrats. Hell of a game.
Appreciate you.
So now let's shift and talk a little bit. If you can just kind of introduce for the audience, Ji'Ayir, a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Penn State. How did you come here to Happy Valley? Talk about that journey for us.
So out of high school, I didn't have many offers at all. I didn't have no offers at all out of high school.
Yeah.
Montclair State wanted to bring me up as I guess like a run-on or something like that, or they were gonna find some scholarships for me. They were gonna make something happen, you know. And no, I went there. I took the visit there. Wasn't never it for me, you know. Just wasn't the feeling I was getting. So I played in North versus South Jersey All-Star game with Phil Simms, and played defense there. And I wasn't going up in high school. I wasn't a big defensive player. I was an offense. I consider myself an offensive athlete. You know, I played everything on offense, from running back, slot, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. You know, my coaches moved me around a lot. And, you know, didn't really play defense to my senior year. Go to the Phil Simms All-Star game. They want me to play safety. Go there and get 2 interceptions and like 6 tackles. And win defensive player of the game there as well. And from there, Lackawanna reached out, Lackawanna Community College down in Scranton. They reach out, you know, and they want me to come here to school. And like I said, I didn't have no school to go to. And something just felt right about Lackawanna, you know, so I went there. Coach Judah basically told me, you know, if you come here, you can bet on yourself. If you feel like you're really good enough, you're going to make it out of here. And that's all the opportunity I needed in the world, was just a chance to put me on the stage to where I can prove myself. And got there, played corner my first season. Got 5 interceptions at corner my first season. And played next to Brisker too, so you know, Penn State was around a lot. Sophomore year, went back to safety, got 3 interceptions at safety, totaled in a lot of tackles that year, and Penn State sent me the offer.
Do you feel like
I'm here.
Do you feel like you took anything away at Lackawanna that has really translated and carried you here? Because obviously you found success there, you played with Brizzy there, but now you're finding a ridiculous amount of success here. What did you take away from that that's helped you now?
The value of appreciation.
Yeah.
You know, just coming from nothing, like junior college life is not easy. So going to junior college route and, you know, walking to practice when it's cold and walking back home. And,
Scranton.
Yeah,
not that cold, man.
Oh my God, it's
lap
freezing.
Of luxury up there.
It's freezing. It's freezing compared to Trenton, New Jersey. It's freezing.
Oh man.
But you know, walking in the snow and all stuff like that, you know, that really changes who you are and how you view life. You know, having to make ends meet and having to, you know, make the best out of every situation has made my appreciation for Penn State 10 times more, you know, because I didn't have a bus charter me to the game field or the practice facility. I didn't have a hot tub before the practice. I didn't cold tub after practice, you know, so just having all that is good.
When you're playing here, if you have not experienced that, it's very easy for that to get lost in translation. Where it just feels like you're not really taking advantage. You don't see the benefit of being at a Penn State until you ain't been at a Penn State and those things aren't available.
Absolutely.
I think it's pretty funny, even talking to the defensive backs, that they know how many picks they had. It's like every offensive lineman will tell you how many sacks they've given up and who they gave them up to. I could do it right now, and it was the 1990s.
Yep.
You could probably tell who you beat for a sack every person. You know exactly who you picked. It's funny how football is like that, man.
Yep. So I love like the insight, the deep, thoughtful answer. This is why we do a players show, so people can get a chance to hear this kind of stuff from the team. But another reason we do it, since you brought up Trenton, New Jersey, I know you're just like a horse waiting for the starting bell here.
And we got Noble here today too. He's my biggest I transformed him from a Virginia Beach kid into a Eastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey kid with the pork roll.
Okay.
So I hear Ji'Ayir's coming on. I said, man, and last week I was trying to get Dawkins to get a Hershey's milk chocolate as Chocolate Thunder's son should have an NIL deal. And I want him to get the Taylor Ham, the pork roll. The pork roll deal, baby. I'll be out to Taylor Ham.
Let's get it working. Taylor Ham, come on, let's do it.
You know?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
I mean, it was I mean, Aeneas is laughing because he's never had it. I'm actually insulted you didn't bring it up because of the boys. How do you not have it
Tim
up
was
there?
supposed to tell me, as a teammate, as a captain, he's supposed to pull me aside.
We didn't come for much, but our parents had the pork roll at the grill all the time because it was a lot cheaper than getting them hamburgers and hot dogs. So we grilled up there, and Nobes and those guys, Billy Anderson, Tilsey, they all swear by it now. No, but I mean, you know.
That's a hell of a sales pitch, by the way. It was the cheaper alternative to hot dogs. You're really convincing people.
We only eat the finest of hot dogs.
Fair enough. Okay, all right. Got the pork roll reference in for you.
All good. I want to know.
Go ahead.
Post game. I mean, we talked about it all this, and I knew what I told Chris and Aeneas, all these guys. I said, Auburn is not a monster SEC team right now. They were trying to pan them off to you guys as, they're the SEC, the SEC. No way. I knew going down that you guys had it. You guys have been around the block many times. You got a quarterback who's 51 years old. You know, he is fantastic.
He ages up like 8 years every week. It's incredible. Yeah, go ahead.
It's all good. But how you guys went down there and just treated it like a business trip, and just went out there and just took their heart, put your foot on their throat, like I told them, put your foot on their throat, remind them that you're Penn State, and to see how you guys didn't stop. It was fantastic and awesome to watch. And they got a lot of calls this week from a lot of other Big Ten people who aren't Penn State people, even SEC people saying, you guys kicked the living crap out of us. That was awesome. So good job, fellas. Good job well done last week.
Appreciate that.
Now we got to work on that post-game thing for James Franklin. Post-game dance. It looked like a mosh pit.
Hey, it was no dance moves done. There was no good dance moves. Just a bunch of pushing and
that's all
shoving.
it is.
Yeah, no dance moves.
So
it's a good feeling, though.
We got your buddy in the backfield, Keaton Ellis, coming up on the next segment, and I'm going to ask him the same question I'm going to ask you. You've been with Penn State now for a few years, so you've experienced some of the best road environments in college football, and obviously you've been part of whiteouts and the best Beaver Stadium has to offer. How did the environment down at Jordan-Hare stack up this week?
Now, be honest.
Yeah. Just give us what was it? I know they were talking up the orange out.
As of right now.
How does it?
As
rate?
of right now, it'd be top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5 in my list.
Behind. As in tough places to play or cool places to play?
Top places cool places to play. I'm still got experience, because I came in the COVID year of 2020, so I didn't get to really experience some of the fan bases, but I still need to get down to the big house and see how that is.
Ain't missing much.
It's a lot of other stadiums I got to get down to. Ohio State has an amazing stadium.
They still wand you when you go in?
Yeah.
Iowa drive you crazy?
Iowa's probably one of the loudest stadiums I've been in.
Iowa?
Yeah, Iowa was one of the loudest stadiums.
Loved it, right?
Loved Iowa.
What was the pregame meal?
Great atmosphere.
You're talking to two fatties now. Come on. Well, pregame, night before meal, they still feed you up pretty good?
I don't even remember the pregame meal that I get.
I remembered it was 1993.
Your heart is broken. He doesn't even remember the pregame.
He does. He's coming out. He's got to stay light. He's got to think light.
Think light. It's a totally different lifestyle.
You know what I would do with Ji'Ayir? I'd sit next to him on game day. Because he's probably like one of those, I got to be light out there, I got to be light out there. So I got half his pregame meal and all mine.
Slide the plate over?
Yeah, absolutely. I sat next to Stephen Michael Pitts for 4 years. I got a plate and a half of food every pregame meal.
Last question I have for you, just as we've been talking to some defensive guys the last couple of weeks, and you had a chance to be coached by Brent Pry for 2 years. And now with Manny Diaz in here, can you just talk about what the transition has been like going from Brent's defense to Manny, and what it's been like so far this year in playing in this defense?
These two guys are extremely smart. I love the way both of them see football, and they both see it in, kind of the same way, but completely different ways at the same time. And when you playing with a defensive coordinator, the play style that that he shows to the fans and stuff is who he is as a person. What I believe.
That's interesting.
Manny is a lot more aggressive, detailed, person. So Pry is aggressive too, but they have their schemes in a way they feel like they should match up against other teams, and right now, I think Manny is more beneficial for me as far as a defensive back. From a defensive back perspective, you know, being that he comes from Miami and he loves to have a lot of DBs on the field. And I've been learning a lot from Manny, and it's been great for me so far.
I think it's really interesting you say that because we saw in the Purdue game, back against the wall, here comes the pressure, we're getting home with the quarterback. When you wanted to bury Auburn, there were more pressures that were called too. So I think it says a lot about who they are as people when these plays get called. Yep.
It's like you get in a fight.
Yep, it's the same thing.
You're back against the wall. Yep. It's the same thing, you know. Is you gonna swing back or is you gonna go into a shell? And that's just how it is when you're playing against coaches.
Nice. I like it. I like the aggressiveness out there, guys. I really do. Yeah. It's going to pay off in the future, man.
Well, so far, so good. You guys are rolling. You are 3-0. You got Central Michigan coming in this week. 2 home games back-to-back. It's going to be nice to have everybody in Happy Valley for a few weeks. And bye week after that. Ji'Ayir, congratulations again on a great win, a great game, being honored by the conference this week. It was a real pleasure having you join us. Thanks so much. We got Keaton Ellis coming up after the break here on the Blue and White Players Show live from Champs Downtown. Stay with us. We will be right back.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I didn't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seonca is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seonca dealerships. Experience the difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blue and White Players Show. We are live at Champs Downtown on South Allen Street, just down from the Allen Street gates, right here in the heart of Happy Valley. And what better place to be, especially when you are celebrating an absolute butt-whooping of the SEC in their building, on their turf. Nittany Lions taking it to the Auburn Tigers to go to 3-0, ranked number 14 in the country. All good stuff. Chris Buchanani with Keith Goon Conlon and Aeneas Hawkins, and as promised, joining us now, the State College Little Lion himself. Got to throw that in, and for Brandon Noble sitting offset, Sorry about that one, Nobes. 1-1 in the series. Keaton Ellis, thanks for joining us, Keaton.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to start it off the same way we did with Ji'Ayir. Let's just talk about the game a little bit. Maybe take a little bit of a different angle in terms of what you guys were prepared for and then the way the game went. Can you talk a little bit about what your mindset was as the game started to unfold, what you saw as especially the first half progressed?
Yeah, definitely, going into the game, we want to be, very aggressive, start fast. It was the biggest thing for us, pre-game, we got to start fast and make sure.
Check your microphone. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Muted.
Live TV, folks. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so, going into the game, our game plan would be very aggressive, and start fast and, just, keep it front of the throat, like we said. I thought we came out the gates, really well. And, the biggest thing for us is, being consistent throughout the whole game. You can't have, too many ups and downs. And we were confident in that going in. And, the confidence, going into the game and, stayed true throughout the whole game.
When did you know you had him?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably, third quarter.
Third quarter.
We're feeling good. Obviously.
I thought it was earlier than that.
Yeah, well, coming out of halftime it's always 0-0. Always 0-0 coming out of halftime.
I like it.
So the biggest thing for us is winning the middle 8. So once you win the middle 8, you're gonna be looking good. The results gonna be looking good. So
James tweeted 0.5. 0.5-0 this week, right? No, it's good. I am the old school cat here, but hearing stuff that James says, Aeneas talks about what James says and does, that's very, very similar to what Joe was. The second half starting this and that, you give up 30 points. You would not know you were up 25 points when you were winning with Joe. Yep. And he was just like hammering. That's good that he's hammering that home to you guys, but it is a great feeling. I mean, did you have any kind of, did you buy into any of the, bull crap that was being spewed about the SEC and the SEC speed? Because I think they left that in their locker room. They left all that stuff in there.
Yeah. No, it's another game for us. Another opponent. We go out the same mindset every week. Regardless of who it is. They're in front of us, and so if you're gonna be in front of us, just be careful because we're gonna give you our best effort every Saturday. And just another team for us. All respect to them and every opponent obviously, but it's another game.
Tig mentioned earlier how the D-line and the secondary work together. Obviously, the D-line had way more success than they've seen all year. In the secondary, out there on the field, could you feel the difference that they were making for you?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You feel the pressure. You feel the quarterback's got to get the ball out 1-2. It's got to come out now. And as DB, that makes your job easy, and that's just complimentary football. When you get that pressure, it opens up plays for your defensive backs. And as a defensive back, if I can cover for that 1, 2, 3, I can trust that they're gonna get there. And you can feel that out there. And it just really came together well. And the whole defense had a great game.
Auburn talk at all?
Nah.
Huh?
Yeah, no.
It's always fun when they try to talk, and then when they stop talking, that's when you know.
And that's when you know. And
anybody turn on each other out there?
Right. Oh, yeah, a little bit, but
it's
at the end of the day,
turn back on the running backs.
The talking is in the play, right?
I love it, man.
And if you're going out there, they know, if you won or lost, that rep or that play, and they know. So it's not much that needs to be said.
It's the best thing in the world. Help a person up off the ground and say, "Come on, you're better than that." It's the best. It's the greatest TS out there. Come on, you're better than that. Come on, let's go. Get out there. Let's go.
So, Keaton, we had Tyler Elsdon on last week, and I was talking to Tyler about the difference from the first 2 weeks' opponent to Auburn for a linebacker, because you've now faced 3 relatively different styles of opponent. Like Ohio, maybe a little bit more balanced, but Purdue very heavy, pass heavy, spread it out. Auburn trying to pound the ball, and for the defensive line, pretty much their job is what it is, right?
Yeah. Trenches.
For your back seven, for your linebackers, and for your defensive backs, it seems to me, especially from a layman's perspective in Manny Diaz's scheme, the defensive backs and the safeties in particular have been asked to do a lot of different things through the first 3 weeks of the season. Can you comment on that and just talk about what it's like and what you think how that benefits you going forward for the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely, seeing your different types of offense and different types of players, especially starting early, but it prepares you well, because you're prepared for everything. You've seen everything live and in the game. So you learn from each of those things every week, right? You learn what you did well against that, and what you need to work on against a run-heavy team, a pass-heavy with great passing type of team. And going to each week, your preparation, for that, and having those experiences, it does help a lot, and you feel that.
What's that adjustment like for you, being asked to play a little bit of a different role differently every week?
Yeah, I mean, we've practiced, everything under the sun, practice. So we're prepared, every situation, the ins and outs of the defenses, yeah, and the defense stays the same. You had the same jobs, the same duties. So it's just the preparation, prepares you for that. Going into a game, especially with playing different types of opponents.
Fantastic job by the staff, James especially. I mean, you gotta love hearing guys come in there and saying there's nothing they've done that you haven't seen, and that's when the game does it slow down for you?
Yeah,
it's just crazy, isn't it?
It does, and
the confidence is out.
Confidence up. You're out there having fun. You're playing the game that you love, and that you've been playing. So, and then that's the purest form.
Now there will be a time, whether it be this week, next week, sometime this year, there will be a game where everything goes wrong.
Yeah,
and it's all up to you guys You've been around the block many, many times, man. I mean, you guys, it's going to be up to the older guys to say, hey, settle down. It's just going to happen. It's just not our day. You still got to persevere and win.
Yeah, and Tig spoke about that, and that goes back to the leadership. We have a great group of core leaders, guys who have been in this program, have been through it all, and accountability, week in and week out. Those guys, they've been great leaders. Me, I'm starting to take a bigger role in that as well. And so that's the players leading players coaching players is a big thing.
I want to hit on two other guys who are playing the safety spot as well, who we've seen come in and make big plays. Keaton Ellis specifically. How have you seen him take a step forward, especially as an older guy that's taken him under your wing? Yeah, and young guys coming in. Obviously me going through it. There's a learning curve, and it's not as much physically, and the game is more mentally, right? That's the biggest thing you got to kind of overcome. And those guys have taken strides. Each week they're getting better. Just through their processes. I can tell they're maturing through their processes each week, and the plays are coming to them. Yeah. And I'm just really excited for them, and just happy to be playing with them. And they really stepped up, and I'm just happy for them. That's awesome.
And you had to follow that same path, making that shift from corner to safety. But now I want to talk a little bit more just about how you got here to Penn State, because I mentioned it at the top of the show.
Huge trek.
You did not have to travel
too far. Train, bus, plane.
But you grow up a local, and I watched you play in high school. It was very clear that you were going to get recruited by programs at the highest level. Can you just talk a little bit about the choice to play at Penn State and how that's panned out for you so far?
Yeah, it's dream come true. Growing up here, I've been at every home game almost. I was a Penn State football player for Halloween, right? So it was always a goal of mine to be that, to make it there, right? And growing up, my parents didn't let me play football till 8th grade.
Me either.
So I was itching.
Your size?
Yeah, I was itching.
Was it your size? Because that was the same thing for me.
Well, it was my mom. She wanted me to play tennis, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so growing up, it was a dream of mine. So when I first started playing in 8th grade, it just clicked, and I just took off and ran with it. Worked really hard to be able to have the opportunity to play here, because I know nothing's given. So I went to my camps, did my thing, and then when I was finally blessed to be able to get the opportunity here, it was a lot of emotions. This decision was already made in my head. I didn't make that clear to coach right away, but I ended up. You had to play the game. Exactly. Play the game. I still ended up committing pretty early, but it was always a dream of mine, to suit up in the blue and white.
Any other visits?
I took one to Syracuse and to Pitt on just because I was camping there.
Yeah.
Good. Spend their money. That's good.
Right.
Yep.
But then, after doing that and kind of just talking with my parents, just like this is a decision that I want to make, and why draw that process out any longer? Like I want to do this. So I made that decision, committed here, and it's just really a blessing. Really a blessing.
Well, I asked both of you guys, did it finally get to the point where it's like, I'm so sick and tired of talking to coaches, I want to make my decision now and get it over with? It gets to that point, right?
That's part of it. Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah. Because they're blowing up your phone.
They won't stop
and
until
they won't stop. It's constant.
I mean, even now, I have to ask this. Even with the whole decommitting thing, not saying you had any involvement in that, but are there? I mean, guys still, even say you committed to Penn State, were people still calling you from other schools trying to get you?
Yeah, the recruiting process is never really over.
It's ridiculous, dude.
And I had to shut it down.
There's no more respect to the game. It's like ridiculous.
No more. But
until you sign, they don't really stop hitting your phone.
Yeah, until you sign, it means nothing. Especially like if you're a junior and depending how seasons are going for different teams, they'll hit you up like, is this what you like? We're winning over here. Like, is this what you want to do? Or we just got this in the facility. Like we just added this. Things like that.
I love that most coaches, they'll do this thing where they try to flip it. Like they're just really making sure that your best interest is being met. Like that's the only thing they're concerned with.
Only concern. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, that's all they care about.
So I figured his NIL out.
Go ahead.
I was trying to think, what the hell State College without having any alcohol? He's got to be the tavern. Like it's got to be the tavern.
Okay.
Stable.
Yeah. So we'll get working on that. This is good. You're like the NIL broker.
What I do?
This is great.
Here you go. What's up?
Well, look, there is no better place to be than Happy Valley. I think anytime, but especially in the fall. Especially in the fall, when the Nittany Lions are rolling, which you guys are right now, 3-0, 14th in the nation. The sense I get from 3 weeks of doing this show and talking with you, Keaton, and your teammates, is that you guys have good heads on your shoulders. You're focusing week to week, and you're just approaching it the right way, which is exciting for all of us. We wish you the absolute best this week against Central Michigan and the rest of the season. We appreciate you joining us, and we will be back on the other side of the break.
Yeah, no doubt.
Continue having fun. That's what it's all about.
We're here live at Champs Downtown. It's the Blue and White Players Show. I'm sorry to report that former defensive tackle Brandon Noble is going to join us when we come back. Stay with us.
With his game ball.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's alright, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I do.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.
Boom, we are back here on the Blue and White Players Show, live from Champs Downtown on South Allen Street. We are coming to you, as we always do, starting at 6 p.m. on Mondays on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State. It's a pleasure to have you here. Really enjoyable to have talked to Ji'Ayir Brown, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Keaton Ellis, the whole defense, boys, has been playing very, very well this season. So only appropriate we bring in another defensive vet, my obligatory pregame show co-host, former Penn State defensive tackle and team captain, Brandon Nobes.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, I was up here today, so figured might as well, if I'm going to drive all the way up,
just like
get a second show in.
The more D tackles, the better, man.
Exactly. Way too many DBs.
You know, Buddy Ryan had a third son.
I had no idea he had another son. Jesus, this is great. The pandemic was rough.
Oh my goodness,
the pandemic was rough.
You know it's over, right?
No, it's not. Nothing is over.
Jeez.
So many people. My friends who watch this show, they're like, look, you look like a midget on that set. They put you between so many
You're wearing a 2X shirt, right?
Yeah. You got me this lovely sail I'm wearing. All right. I want to talk a little bit about Penn State Auburn, if you can believe it.
Sounds good.
Because that was one of the most satisfying viewing experiences I have had as a Penn State football fan in a long time.
I tried to talk you off the ledge a little bit, man. I tried to say, hey, we're good. We got this.
I to your credit, and I mentioned it on TV for this week,
did.
You were the only one, Goon, when you were filling in for Nobes on television, who said that Penn State was going to win in a rout. Yep. You just felt it coming.
We have a senior-laden team that pays off early in the year.
It definitely does that. There's no doubt. Absolutely. If you've got older guys, you can go.
They've been there, done there, done that.
Go someplace and win a football. Guys that have gone to Iowa, gone to Michigan, gone to the Horseshoe, win or lose, right? You've been in that environment. It definitely pays off early in the year.
And those young guys follow you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You see Tig, Sean Clifford, the game, they don't look nervous out there. Right? Done it before, and the young guys are just going to follow exactly what they lead.
If your leaders are nervous, everybody's nervous, right? The captain of the ship.
Coach, I didn't tell anybody this story. So somebody got on my Instagram, an Auburn student, and said my prediction was ridiculous. I'm stupid, and Nittany Lions are going to die in this and that. So I just went back and forth with this guy. I called him Ricky Bobby. I didn't know who it was.
Ricky Bobby.
I said, I'm sorry if you run over a Nittany Lion. It might mess up your pickup truck there, Ricky Bobby. All this stuff. And just like our fans who had a great experience. Is this true? I swear to God, I'll show it to you. So I'm going back and forth with this guy, hammering. I'm just like, it's Princess Nittany, Indian chief's daughter. And he's like, well, you guys are y'all going to get killed tomorrow. You're over, and then I ride over a Nittany Lion on the way to the game today. And I said, well, hell, you're 4 hours late. It's 11 o'clock. We already been tailgating since 7 a.m. So I got to give him some crap. And I did. Maybe about 10 o'clock Saturday night, I made my final response to the young men. And I said, you better take the morning after pill, buddy. So, but I did get back to him. And I honestly, I do want to say this. I have read nothing but great experiences of our fans down there.
Yeah.
And that's so awesome to see. But I have a feeling on this. I have a theory on this. 15 years ago, I freaking loved the Iowa fans. Because we were beating the crap out of Iowa all the time. We hated. Yeah, but when you have a rivalry, you got to play year in and year out. Like if we have to play Auburn year in and year out, and we do that to Auburn, they're going to be coming after us next year big time. And I think it's a little easier when you're only playing a 1-1.
Oh, sure. When we played Alabama home and home back in 2010, 2011, I had some friends who made the trip down to Tuscaloosa. They rolled out the red carpet. And at one point, they're at some Bama fans' tailgate who's just hosted them. And he said, look, just tell me, our experience would be totally different if we were Auburn fans.
Absolutely.
Right? And the guy could barely speak. He got so angry when he mentioned Auburn. So, yeah.
Like I said, I think that Iowa was that one. It was like,
absolutely.
I loved Iowa fans from like 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, now not so much.
Now not so much.
No.
I think it's interesting that you talk about this being a senior-led team, which it absolutely is, right? In some of the key spots, you've got PJ and Sean, you've got Tig. But at the same time, one of the things that's a headline through 3 games is the impact of the true freshmen coming in from that recruiting class. So you've got the yin-yang. You've got the guys who have been there, done that, providing the leadership. You've got the playmaking ability coming in from true freshmen who are ready right out of the box. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. The last time we played Central Michigan, like we're going to do this weekend, we had a team that matched that description to a T. You remember that? We had guys like Alan Zamitis, who's on the coaching staff right now, Dan Connor, Michael Robinson, and then you had that recruiting class, Derek Williams, Deion Butler, Jordan Norwood.
It makes the best, the high and the low, and they learn from it, man. They learn from it. It's a tradition. It's a tradition we had here for many, many, many years. You know, and again, 2020 was just a wacky, wacky time, man. It threw a big old monkey wrench into everything. Everything. So we're talking about, Deke's talking about going to Ohio State and Michigan and playing, and no fans there. I mean, I can't imagine those environments without that experience.
Like a spring scrimmage in Beaver Stadium.
Yeah. Oh my God, my back literally my back just gave out right there. Play 494
and then run some 40s.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do wind sprints after this.
I don't think they're allowed to do it.
No, they can't do any of that anymore, can they?
I want to talk about defense. Okay. I'm going to turn to you guys. Aeneas, you and I have been talking about the defensive line every week. These are your friends. They are your recent teammates, and that's your position group. Yep. And I feel like expectations were justifiably high for them coming into this season. Yep. Not just on an individual basis, but as a group. You felt like there was a lot of depth there, a lot of playmaking ability. And again, Zane Durant, denied Dennis Sutton. Yep. You talked about senior leadership and freshmen coming in to make an impact. My impression has been that they have steadily improved. I don't even think game to game. I think quarter to quarter. Yep. It's just been trend line up. What have you seen from the defensive front in particular?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a group that's got a bunch of talent, should be performing at a high level. Everybody expects to perform at a high level. But defensive line specifically, similar to O-line, is a group where you got to learn how to play together, number one. Okay? Yep. And they're learning how to play together quarter by quarter. You see Akeem Beeman and Adisa Isaac and all these different variations and different groups going in. Guys are getting more comfortable playing together. That's number one. The next thing I'd say, defensive line specifically is a position that feeds off of energy. Going into a crowd, playing an O-line that's SEC, that's supposed to dominate you, that people are tapping as a group that's going to be able to run the ball, sit back. They feed off of that, man. It's a violent, it's a physical, it is a go and get a position. That's what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. It is a group that is emotional. Yep. Right? There's not always a lot of kind of book smarts in that room. Yep. You know what I mean? I always kind of equated it to an insane asylum.
Very true.
It's exactly
right?
What it
An insane asylum, right? But when that insane asylum kind of gets going, it's very hard to stop. Right, and so I think that's what you saw. You're seeing it kind of over the course of the season, right? Is slowly building, and they went in there with a chip on their shoulder, like Aeneas said, right? You go down there, the nation is picking you to not win, right? You're going to get bullied. It's the SEC, all those things, and you walk in with a chip on your shoulder, and those cats went and hunted, and they got after it, and it was fun to watch. And as it's kind of like, there's a little bit of blood in the water, then there's a lot of blood in the water, and that group feeds off of that.
There was a lot of blood in the water.
That's exactly what it was.
There was a ton of blood in that water going. You could see it going in.
That's the mindset.
6-7 last year. There's already disarray with the coach. They can't stand him. They don't like their Yankee coaches. They do not like them.
Joe Moorhead found that out.
Joe Moorhead found out the
Brian
hard
Kelly's
way.
about to, I expect. Speaking of Brian Kelly, he was the coach of Central Michigan the last time Penn State beat them.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Yes. Aeneas, you name dropped 2 guys, and we talked about PJ earlier.
Yep.
in Beeman and Adisa Isaac, I think one of the things that folks need to keep in mind is that all of those guys had been away from football, and in Adisa and Hakeem's case, for over a season. So there's a little bit of an acclimation period, and I know if I'm going to talk to defensive linemen about recovering from catastrophic injury,
I've done it.
You're my guy.
Yes, absolutely.
What's it like when you get back out on the field after you've had like a really terrible, knee or leg injury?
I mean, the mental part of that is the hardest part. Usually the doctor does a good job. You've rehabbed all summer, all year. I was fortunate. I blew mine out in August, so I had an entire football season before I got back on there.
Yeah.
You didn't just blow it out.
I did a little.
You did everything.
I did everything. I did them all. ACL, MCL, PCL, dislocated kneecap.
Tibia, fibia.
All at once, right? But the mental part of it, hey, can I hold up when I get a double team? Can I plant and drive off of that leg, right? Those are things that over a course of a season get better and better and better. For me, week 1 in the NFL, I played 20 plays and I was just happy to get it done. But by week 9, I was starting again and felt like myself. Right, so it takes some time and it builds.
And you needed that hit.
But it is.
You needed that hit on there.
You need to
get mentally, like, say, okay,
Absolutely.
this is good. I'm stable.
Jeff Hardings and Alan Faneca shot me out like I was in a cannon. Just like went backwards. Like I couldn't put any pressure on
Those
the left
two good.
leg. They're pretty good.
They're pretty
not
bad. That's not bad too, guys.
But once that happened, right, I was like, okay, like it's not going to fall off, right? You know what I mean? It's not going to cave. I have a big Don Joy knee brace on it, and it just takes a little bit of time. But I think, look, to me, getting PJ back is huge. Again, it's an old guy, right? It's a guy that's been there. He's been a guy in that position. He's played great football. He's an anchor. He's the middle of the defense. So most important, I mean, look, nose guard, defensive tackle, the middle of your defense is the most important part of your defense.
I think he was definitely, not to jump in, I'm sorry, Pooch, is that with PJ we lost him last year at Iowa.
Yeah.
We lost the guy who was going to get in guys' mugs.
Yep, absolutely.
And we didn't have that the rest of the year. I just had that feeling. And when we had him on the show, and Aeneas had told me about PJ, what kind of guy he was, and I said, I can't wait for this guy to come back.
Yeah.
And there's a guy you could root for. I mean, this is a team you could root for, these guys. They've been through a lot of crap and this and that, and a lot of people have been on there.
Yeah, myself included.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say I haven't. It is what it is. I mean, you have a certain what you want to see out there, and you're not seeing it. It gets upsetting, and like I try to talk to these guys, and I'm just like, hey man, winning is fun. It is fun. It's the easiest thing.
It's the fun.
It's the best thing to cure anything is just win. It makes everything fun. Practice is better. The beers are colder. Women are hotter. It's beautiful.
Sure.
On that note, we're going to pop to a break. We're going to wrap up the Penn State-Auburn game. On the other side of this, we appreciate you watching us live here from Champs Downtown. We're here every Monday at 6 p.m. with 2 players from the Nittany Lions football team on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
What's good, bro?
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I haven't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seonca is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seonca dealerships. Experience the difference.
Welcome back, everyone, to Champs Downtown and the Blue and White Players Show. This is something new we are doing this season. We appreciate you taking this journey with us from week to week, every Monday at 6 p.m. live, right here from Champs. We're on the socials of statecollege.com and Onward State. And, we're still figuring it out, right?
We got to get our helmets on today.
We absolutely did get the helmets.
Both the guys did it?
We sure did. Folks have seen this.
Sorry. I was giving you a high up.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Folks have seen this helmet sitting here on the table. It's going to be here all season.
Let's rip it down a collar.
We are having every Penn State letterman, every Penn State football player who appears here on the Blue and White Players Show sign this helmet. There's only one like it. It'll be one of a kind. And if you want to be entered into a chance to win it, it's very easy. All you got to do is honor the legacy of Joe and Sue Paterno by going to SOPA, that's Special Olympics of PA, SOPA, paternofund.org, and make a donation to the Paterno Endowment at Special Olympics of Pennsylvania in any amount. It could be $500, it could be $5. It all helps. It all honors Coach Paterno and Sue and everything they have done for the community and Special Olympics of Pennsylvania. And maybe you'll win this one-of-a-kind helmet covered with signatures of former and current Nittany Lions. So, Keith Conlon, Brandon Noble, Aeneas Hawkins, guys, I just want to wrap up what was, again, for me, just one of the best viewing experiences. See, you guys all play, right? So
you're so happy. I love it.
No, right? It's unbelievable.
I'm not seeing this happen.
I got a perspective.
I mean, the hands are really moving today, more so than normal. Hey, the head's going.
I got a perspective that you guys don't, which is living and dying from the couch.
I get it, yeah.
And I've been watching Penn State football since I was
We do now. It
knee-high.
sucks.
And the thing about a win like what happened on Saturday is that when you get it on the road against a team that, like Penn State, is one of those historical powers, one of those names
I'll give them blue blood.
you grew up hearing in college football, and you just absolutely whip that ass like there was just nothing like it. I think in context of program history, I'd got to go all the way back to Bill O'Brien and the 2012 team when they went out to Iowa and absolutely ruined the stripe out. Ruined it, because it just means something a little different. It just means more.
Just means more.
When you do it on the road. And beating Pitt doesn't count.
No.
Yeah, but we could have beat Pitt 151 to 6.
I
still would have enjoyed this a lot
when we
more.
had that. I have an idea, and that would be Michigan 94 when we spent 2 years before going 5-0 and then losing Game 6.
Yep.
And then we go out to Michigan. It was our first time ever playing out there. We were laughing at, like I'm telling you, it's not that great of a stadium. It really, really is. And it's actually, as a player, you sort of start laughing at it because it's like, wow, we play in the loudest stadium in America.
It ain't a lot of fun as a spectator either, let me tell you.
Oh, I heard about the seats too.
Yeah.
I heard I might have about 3 seats to sit there. But that was our game. That was our 6th game that year, and they came back on us, Nobes.
Yeah.
I mean, we went out there, we were up. It was a blatantly bad holding call on the goal line. I don't know who that sumbitch was who got called for a hold.
I don't know. I don't.
That was 1994, and I can still remember it to this day.
You robbed Kajana Carter of the Heisman Trophy.
They only had one more touchdown. But winning that game out there and just coming back, and it was just like, okay, that monkey is off our back.
Yep.
We got that monkey off our back, and look what happened 2 weeks later. We may have beat Ohio State by a couple points. I think we covered the spread that game.
I don't know anything about that.
I'm pretty sure the spread was 47.5.
Yeah, but when you
covered it.
Yeah, and when you get that win, though, whatever it is, especially a road win, it can change the course of the season. It 100% can. Like you gain so much confidence, because then the big game at home isn't quite as big, right? Because now I've gone into that place, right, where it was us against the world. I mean, all the cliches are there, right? But like that's what it is when you go into that place, and to do it in the fashion. It's one thing to win a nail biter or a close one, like those are great. But like when you go in and just curb stomp somebody. That's a whole different animal. Like,
Well, you
walk
see how
out of there
people-
going, man, I'm a bad dude.
I mean, now Aeneas, there's teams who've come in here and we played a whiteout, and we don't have a super great record in the whiteout. And it means a ton to those teams that come in. It might be Ohio State who plays in that environment every week, but they come in here, and that's a huge, tough place to play. You see how they act after those games. It's good to be on that side of it right now. On their network with their announcers.
Listening to those announcers, he was getting curb stopped.
Oh my God, it was unbelievable.
So I have a question about that. I'll be honest, I didn't pick up on this in the way other people were. I think I was so dialed in on the game, I just tuned Gary Danielson out. But
that's called drinking. Let's not kid yourselves. Come on.
No, man, no, I got to be sober.
You were that into it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I invited Booch out to watch to a viewing party with me. He's
I got to watch it home. I'm superstitious.
Yeah. But you're not stitious.
No. But they're about to be a Big Ten network. So does that mean those guys they're still going to work there? Do they have to become Big Ten homers next year?
I think next year is early to ask him to do that, but I think they don't have a choice. I think they got to get to that eventually.
I don't know. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, though. So it's going to be tough for poor old Gary Danielson.
Danielson.
Fair. So I want to wrap up a few other things I picked up from the game. We talked about the huge blow it was to the team last year, losing PJ Mustipher, and of course the brutal, 1-2 punch of Sean and PJ in the same game. But you never want to get a benefit of playing time for your younger guys due to an injury. But nevertheless, here we are. PJ's back and playing, but now we've got a bevy of younger guys in that defensive line room who got thrown into situations they were not going to see otherwise last season. And now I feel like they can learn from that, don't you think?
It pays off nicely. I was just telling somebody, I feel like Devon Elise played his best football against Auburn. He's running around making plays, and that comes from the experience that he got last year, for sure, that he wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
I also got to throw it to you because a LaSalle guy made some absolutely lights out.
If you don't kick him out of the game early, he's going to make plays out there.
Abdul Carter. Now I heard some rumblings from some.
He's switching to 53. He's getting rid of the double sticks.
I heard some rumblings from some of my alumni buddies, from a couple of former players, no present company, but some rumblings about giving out the 11 to a true freshman versus the idea that the 11 has got to be earned. You comfortable with him wearing the sticks right now?
I want to know who it was. I mean, Lamar's pretty tight with the program with Coach Franklin. I wonder if he wanted to be like, hey, I think it's the next guy, because every time I saw James this summer, I said, how's Abdul? And he goes, dude. Dude. That's all he said. Dude. So he was rightfully given. And I don't think it's not the LeVar sticks he's gotten. It's the kid down in Dallas, Texas right now wreaking havoc on the NFL right now. That's why he got that 11, because that's what they're comparing. That's what Coach Franklin's comparing him to.
I listened to the sentiment of waiting to give it out if they were getting it wrong, but at least what we've seen from Abdul Carter this far, they're not wrong about him. And Micah Parsons, they definitely weren't wrong about.
I want to talk more defense.
The running backs aren't bad either.
No mention of Singleton, no quarterback. I don't want to talk about it. I do want to say, obviously, Nick Singleton, that guy is a transcendent talent. When you can make Auburn look like Ohio, that's something special. But I'm going to give shouts to Kaytron Allen as well, because he is probably not getting the credit he deserves because of the big runs from Nick.
Yeah.
But he is a patient runner with great footwork and great vision. Having those two guys has completely transformed Penn State's rushing attack till it looks like what it was when you guys were in school.
Two things happen when you were not breaking long runs without your wide receivers blocking.
How about Keandre Lambert?
Kenny Jackson was the biggest proponent of that. Kenny Jackson said, Keandre ain't breaking those runs. They ain't breaking those runs without those guys blocking downfield. I mean, those are 40-yard runs. Those guys are blocking. It's a 100-yard touch or an 80-yard touchdown. And our tight end game significantly improved with blocking.
Yes. Well, second year in the
I know,
system,
dude.
right?
I know. You've been calling it. You said they had a little bit of a sophomore slump.
And
they came back a
second
little
year
bit.
in the system, same coach, same system, that learning opportunity of last season.
And then when you get an opportunity, they're making the most of it.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of them.
But back to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, go have fun with those guys. We want to hold your game ball or anything, Brandon?
I will.
Yeah, there you go.
This one right here.
No. Oh, God.
The Cowboys, Redskins.
You're going to make me look at these two NFC East logos that aren't the Eagles. Beat the Vikings. Manny Diaz, man, like the moment it broke that Miami let him go, I was like, that's the guy make the phone call. I have admired the way he calls the defense for a while, and what I see is not just the pressure that he brings, but the variety of looks he's showing and the impact that has on opposing quarterbacks, because after a while...
He has them thinking so much.
I think you start to see blitzers that never actually come.
Absolutely. And when you have a reputation of sending so many people, and you simulate it, right? You walk 6 to the line of scrimmage, you overload a side, you drop another side. You know, you do things that create doubt in the quarterback's mind and affect the protection in a way. So now, hey, I don't have to send 6 all the time to get home, right? I can send 3, I can send 4, I can send 5.
How much easier is football when you get there with 4 notes?
Oh, it's so much easier. And 3. I mean, look, if you can, they got a couple with 3.
You get there with 3, game over.
That's absolutely. So I think that those are things that he's really creative, which I like. It's not just send 6, send 6, send 6, right? It's 6, 3, 5. You know, it's just this huge combination.
4 from the side.
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, it is.
Yeah, and also I played under Brent Pry, and again, I swear by Brent Pry's defense. I loved it. Did a lot of good things, and it's proven. A lot of his pressures look the same and they feel the same. Right. And they're all a part of the same family. Diaz, they're part of the same family. A lot of these pressures,
all over,
but they look so different.
There's a lot of dudes doing it. It's not. He's not sending one guy. He's sending the bevy of them.
No doubt about it. And I think he also is benefiting. I'm no expert on Manny Diaz's defenses over the years, but this has to be one of the most talented groups that he's ever had, if not the most talented.
Especially on the back end.
Oh my goodness.
And when your back end is really good, that gives you so much freedom as a coordinator to be able to play with all the other stuff.
Yep.
If you can cover, if you can rush with 4, if you can cover with 4 or 5, now you can do all sorts of things.
So I was just going to say, if you are the offensive line coach and you're giving up pressure with 3, you get Herm Edwards walking off the field.
Yes. Thank you for your service, sir.
Yep. We're going to move on from you.
Your check will be
Sorry, Herm.
Here you are, Lane Kiffin. You find your own way back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Look, Mike the Mailman picks us to go 15-0 every single year. Until I am given any reason to believe otherwise, I say let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going. Happy Valley is never happier than when the Nittany Lions are rolling. And God, this was such a fun weekend, and I feel safe in saying that we're going to keep the fun going on Saturday, and we're going to keep the fun going here on the Blue and White Players Show all season, live from Champs Downtown every Monday at 6 p.m. We appreciate you being with us, whether you're watching live or after the fact. It's great having you here.
Yes.
We will be back next week with 2 more players from the Nittany Lions football team. I'm your fake host, Chris Buchanani. I'll be with the old school, Keith Goon Conlon, the new school, Aeneas Hawkins. We might even bring the old man, Brendan Noble, back with us a few more times this season. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoy the week. Go State, beat the Chippewas. We're out.
Chip, chip.
People always ask me what Chance is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
It's good, bro.
What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's all right, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I haven't.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Make more good in the all-new Sportage X-Pro. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the place where roadside markets are filled with fruits and vegetables, small batch jams and made from scratch pies, where mountain trails are explored with friends with names like Ghost and Traveler, where award-winning wines, craft-made beers, and spirits are raised, hearty meals are served, and nights are shared under star-filled skies. This is Center County, Pennsylvania. To find out all that's happening, visit us at happyvalleyagventures.com.
Hey, Penn State fans, it's game time, and Seoka is hitting the field with 40 dealerships and 25 franchises in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That means more choices and the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle priced to fit your budget. Plus, factory-trained service experts are just minutes away, and you can feel confident you're doing business with a family that treats you like family. We're a proud partner of Penn State Athletics and preferred auto dealer of the Penn State Alumni Association. The Seoka dealerships. Experience the difference.